For weeks, Russian officials claimed that Kupiansk had already fallen, that Ukrainian forces were encircled, cut off, and on the verge of collapse. At one point, those claims were made with such confidence that journalists were openly invited to come and see the supposed victory for themselves. But while statements were being made in Moscow, the reality on the ground in Kupiansk was very different. Fighting never stopped.
Бажаю здоров'я. Сьогодні Куп'янський напрямок, наші воїни, які тут досягають результатів для України. Багато росіяни говорили про Куп'янськ. Ми бачимо, Я привітав хлопців, дякую кожному підрозділу, всім, хто б'ється тут, всім, хто знищує окупанта.
President Zelensky recorded this video from Kupiansk, putting an end to the Russian propaganda.
Ваш день. Дякую, хлопці, слава Україні.
Ukrainian units remained active across multiple parts of the city and its outskirts. And over time, those small, localized actions began to add up. What followed was not a single dramatic breakthrough, but a methodical operation. Ukrainian forces established blocking positions north and northwest of the city, limiting Russian movement and disrupting resupply routes. From there, smaller units began pushing inward, targeting isolated Russian positions that had been left without proper support. This wasn't a conventional urban assault. It was a clearing operation, slow, deliberate, and heavily supported from above. Drones played a central role. Aerial reconnaissance identified Russian holdouts, tracked movement between buildings, and provided real-time information to infantry on the ground. Rather than forcing direct engagements, Ukrainian units often allowed drone strikes to do the work first, disorienting defenders and breaking cohesion before troops moved in. The camera tracks them from above. Thermal imaging locks onto small heat signatures darting in all directions. A pair of Russians jumps into a collapsed trench. They think they're hidden, but they're wrong. But the drones are not done. They're already tracking the heat signatures. A series of FPV drones are launched in sequence. A short while later, Khartiia infantry units move in to inspect the area. They're clearing trenches manually now. Muzzle first, finger ready, checking each corner for any signs of life. Nothing. The area is silent. Just as they regroup, an intel ping comes through. Possible movement inside a buried structure. A reinforced underground shelter.
Выходи, блядь! Выходи давай! Вышел нахуй! Вышел быстро, блядь! Выходите нахуй, либо сейчас пизда! Понятно, парень? Еще раз предлагаю, сдавайся! Не слышу ответа!
Weapons raised. Then, movement. What do you think happened next? Drop your guess in the comments. But it's not over yet. Surviving Russian troops break off from the ambush and begin falling back toward the edge of the city. Most disappear into what's left of an old industrial block, a patchwork of damaged warehouses, shattered rooftops, and rusting sheet metal. If they were hoping for cover, this is the best they're going to get. Moments later, you hear the echo of small arms fire snapping off concrete. Ukrainian infantry advances carefully, leapfrogging between burnt-out vehicles and collapsed storefronts, clearing one position at a time. Above them, the drones are still watching. Ukrainian FPV operators identify Russian firing points tucked into a warehouse corner and around an old service station. There's a brief lull in the firefight, and then drones are sent in. One drone flies through a blown-out window and triggers an explosion inside the structure. Another impacts the roof. Part of the building appears to collapse inward as debris and dust erupt into the air. But this isn't just a drone fight. As the dust settles, Khartiia infantry moves forward again. They're trading fire across intersections, using short, controlled bursts to cover each other as they cross open streets. A pair of soldiers sprints past a smoking civilian car and takes cover behind concrete slabs, holding the angle while the rest of the squad advances. The engagement drags on for several minutes. Inside a damaged shelter, 2 more Russian soldiers are discovered alive, hiding under debris. Ukrainian troops pull them out, secure them, and continue their sweep. Another search, another group taken into custody.
Вон он, девочку, в эту хуйню зашел. Давай, да, вот.
Ты мне нужен, он нужен ты мне. А это тут судья 42? Левее.
Back on drone overwatch, operators spot 3 Russian soldiers concealed behind a warehouse. The first drone strike hits the corner of the structure, a near miss that forces them to reposition. A second and third follow, tightening in on the target area. After multiple precise impacts, the position is neutralized, and no further movement is visible from that group. With resistance fading, Ukrainian infantry methodically clears each warehouse. Muzzle forward, slow steps, every doorway and corner checked. Room by room, block by block, they secure the sector under the constant eye of drones overhead.
Dude, that was right behind you.
The Ukrainians move with purpose, slow, methodical, like they've done this before, because they have. This is what modern urban combat looks like. Infantry on the ground, drones in the sky, and every movement watched, recorded, and analyzed in real time. And then, through scattered gunfire, the city council building comes into view, or what's left of it. The structure is partially damaged, windows shattered, walls pockmarked with shrapnel, but it's still standing. And more importantly, it's still contested. Khartiia's reconnaissance and strike group, the RUG team from 4th Battalion, makes the final push. One fire team moves up along the southern wall, another circles from the west. The Russians fight back. They're not letting go easily. But it's clear, Ukraine has the upper hand. And they know what's at stake. The city council building isn't just a structure, it's a statement. Reclaiming it means regaining control in the region. So they go in, clearing floor by floor, room by room. Every stairwell, every corridor, checked and cleared. Above them, drones provide overwatch, live recon, coordinated strikes, full spectrum support. This is what combined arms looks like. This is the Khartiia method.
At this point, resistance is thin. Whatever Russian forces were holding the building have either pulled back or been neutralized as a fighting force. Every corner is checked, room by room, floor by floor. And then, finally, daylight. They make it to the rooftop. The camera pans up as one of the operators carefully raises a Ukrainian flag and steps toward the edge. The pole is set in place. The flag lifts into the air. For the first time in months, the national colors are visible again, over the heart of Kupiansk. No cheering, no celebration. Just steady hands holding the flag against the cold wind, with smoke still drifting in the distance. Each repelled assault like this slowly weakens Russia's hold north of Kharkiv. Every time dozens of troops are taken out of the fight, that's a significant part of a company no longer able to advance. Ukraine, by contrast, can field large numbers of these drones for the cost of only a few armored vehicles. It's a harsh trade-off: drones and equipment on one side, trained personnel on the other. And for now, Ukraine is managing that balance in a way that continues to blunt these attacks. Colonel Ihor Obolensky later described this as the result of the Khartiia method: planning, discipline, and high-level training working together. Whether you're watching this from the front line or from a quiet apartment far away, this moment sends a clear message. The method works. To all the subscribers and viewers, thank you for staying with these detailed updates. Your comments and your support are what keep this channel going. And if you found this breakdown useful, hit the like button and subscribe. It helps the algorithm share these videos with more people who want in-depth coverage of this war. Until then, let me know below. How long do you think Ukraine can hold Kupiansk, with Russian pressure coming from both the north and the east?